Awesome. Yeah, this is the next episode, right? We just recorded a secret Callum and Julian episode, and we teased that Kai is going to come up now. So Kai, say hello to everyone, and maybe one day we're going to release the Callum and Julian episode that actually wasn't recorded at all.
Yo, what's up, everyone? It's your boy in the booth.
You want to do the intro?
With the boys?
I think you've like none of you has ever done the intro.
No. Dude, I can do it. Yeah, hello.
You can do it. Dude, go for it. I want to hear you.
Hello and welcome to Everyday Eternal 183, your favorite, most deceptively named bi-weekly legacy podcast. Is that it?
Did you do that from memory, or did you actually read it out?
Oh, if you want to support the running of the show directly, you can support us on patreon.com/everydayeternal. Guys, what have you been up to?
This sounds so artificial, but I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. Maybe this is the way to go. Maybe we're gonna have Kai do
7 out of 10.
Dude, I just passed the test, I think.
Yeah, you're going to be
reemployed
for the upcoming... Your contract is going to be renewed for the upcoming season, right?
Thank you.
You know, it's a thing in football. Like, all of these football players, they used to get contracts that are like 2, 3, maybe 4 years long. Nowadays, Chelsea FC, they pioneered just signing somebody for 12 years. Like, you're 20, you're from, like... a lesser known country, which I guess that's the weirdest thing to say, but and you're predicted to be good at football. Yeah, here's your 12-year contract, right?
Wow,
is that how it works? I don't know.
So they kind of just gamble on that dude to perform for 12 years straight.
Yeah, the whole idea, from what I understand, by the way, this is a legacy podcast if you don't know. The whole idea behind it is the longer the contract, the more valuable the contract is, right? If you sign somebody for 12 years and it turns out they're actually good, and then somebody wants to buy out the contract, they have to buy out a much longer period. Of course, the downside is if the player turns out to be shit, like he's gonna be shit for a long time if you can get rid of him.
Yeah. Like,
it is a gamble, isn't it? Yeah.
Dude, yeah, imagine doing this like in Magic, dude. Like, I can't name a single player who has been consistent for 10 or 12 years.
Okay, actually, let's think about it. Like, in the grand scheme of things, are we talking about Legacy or Magic as a whole?
As a whole, I guess.
Okay, who's the most... okay, I'm going to say Nassif.
Yeah, LSV's been pretty good for a long time.
Okay, well, maybe because they're Platinum Pros or Hall of Famers, right?
I got one. I got one you can't beat.
Yourself? No.
Rafael Levy.
Ah.
That guy played every single Pro Tour in existence until his child was born.
Okay.
Come on, does it really get more consistent?
That is very consistent.
No, it is.
But yeah, but I guess like tournament attendance is one thing, but then the other is maybe like deck consistency. Like for example, like if I speak about myself, like I had a pretty spiky ad nauseam tendrils period, and then I had like for 2-3 years between like 2016 and 2018-19, I had like really janky, I want to make Canadian Threshold the best possible, even though it really sucks ass.
I love you, Jonathan Alexander phase.
Yeah, dude. Like I was like one of his top Patreon fanboys, dude. Like,
did you get a Winter Orb tattoo?
Oh man, dude, I wish. Dude, it was not called Winter Orb, it was called Frostbringer.
Frostbringer,
yeah, dude.
Gotta have
Team
German
Frostbringer.
ones.
Holy smokes, dude. Like that was like, like it was that phase when we tried to make Canadian as good as possible versus Miracles, but then like the deck we lost against almost everything else. But dude, like the Winter Orb tech was just so over the top. Oh my goodness.
This was during my Miracles phase, and I played against Jonathan a lot online. And like he would play all these like shroud threats, and he would play control. And I just kept blood mooning him. Like, I would just one constantly with blood moon. It's like I'm just a ham fist in your face.
Whoopsies.
Was that around like 2016, 17?
It was just after Top got banned.
Oh, that was 2017. Yeah, so yeah. I guess after that, because I remember when Jonathan was like, "Okay, here's the thing: we out control Miracles," and you guys played like I don't know, like counter spells in the sideboard of Canadian or something like something like that, dude. Right?
Actually, counter spell as a one-off in the main deck.
In the main deck, even. yeah, I remember that.
Because just one thing about that counter spell, like so to quote Jonathan Alexander here, this is like 100% on him. But people say that this counter spell is just so clunky, where like if you compare the overall mana base of a regular Rock Delver deck and Jonathan's Canadian Threshold, they have the same amount of CC2 spells, right? Because the everyone played 4 Tarmogoyfs, and then the rest was all like 1-drops and 0-drops. And Jonathan played only 2 Tarmogoyfs, but a counterspell, and I think a Sylvan Library sometimes. But so both decks have the same amount of 2-drops basically. But for some reason, people said that counterspell is just very clunky, whereas like Jonathan thought that Tarmogoyf is like the clunkiest thing because you can never play Tarmogoyf and keep like all your staples up and stuff.
Yeah, when you think about it, like Tarmogoyf was always like the weird thing for a deck that was so much about efficiency. Tarmogoyf was just like a...
It's just a really, 5/6. It's just a really dumb threat.
It just breaks, it, at least at the time, it broke the thing where you're like, oh, dude, we just want these cards that are just like, they fit together in a way, right? And they're just like super efficient in what they do, and they have like some kind of quirky, I don't know, like something that's cunning about them, right? And Tarmogoyf is just like this big fat dude who just like rolls you over in a short time. Yeah.
Freaking love it. I love Goyf so much. I can just identify with that.
Because you play a lot of Shardless, right? Like, so I can.
Yeah, I did play tons of Shardless. So I would lose to Rugdelver with 20 cards in hand every time.
Oh man,
dude! And speaking of Jonathan Alexander, by the way, you know where people think about, I don't know, people in terms of like this whole red pill stuff, like, oh, this is a beta guy, this is an alpha guy, whatever, this bullshit. If that was ever such a thing as a Sigma male, I think there was Jonathan Alexander as a Magic player, because like that guy did whatever he wanted, right? And his success backed him up. And that's just kind of something I appreciate. Like, I was thinking about this blog the other day, the Weekly Wars, and I'm not sure how much attention it got, but he like didn't care. He just like continued releasing stuff, and then eventually he got into Pauper, and he went like so deep. Like, I'm actually scrolling through it right now. There's like many years worth of Pauper analysis and recaps, and he did a recap of basically every single league he played, or at least challenges and everything. Like, this whole dedication, and not in a way that's like, hey, look at me, I'm streaming, I'm doing this. It's just like, yeah, I'm just like documenting what I do and what I see and how I think about the metagame. And it just always felt so disconnected from like literally disconnected. It felt like Magic, dude. I just like, I have a thing for sitting on your own lonely island and trying to figure out the metagame, because that was kind of like how Magic was to me before YouTube came along, right? Before the explosion of like Legacy as a thing around like 2010. Like, I remember when I first played Legacy, that was how I thought about the game, right? Just like thinking about it, and of course on a very low level, and just like talking to people, not even understanding what they mean when they say Solidarity is good against Landstill, because Landstill is Force of Will. How can I come with? I can beat that. And I feel like that's exactly what he was doing on his lonely island, and either you knew about the island or you didn't, because like obviously he would like never show up in like, I don't know, SCG or Channel Fireball or something. Maybe he did once, I don't even know, but that is some kind of like old school internet charm to it, and I totally vibe with that.
Yeah, definitely. Also, like, his statements were very
outrageous.
Yeah, it was like there were rarely cards that were all right in his opinion. Like, it was either the best thing ever, like Nimble Mongoose, for example, and how busted the card was, or absolute dog shit. You know, like, he was just so polarized with his statements, like black and white. There's just not a lot of gray.
Do you think he did it out of ego, where he was like, hey, I got the edgy opinions, or where did that come from?
I think it's quite a Germanic thing.
It's a Germanic thing.
Yeah, I think so.
Germans are very polarizing.
Yeah, dude. Like, that's why you never want to go to like a pure German tournament, because that's going to be like a big shit show.
Dude, actually, that reminds me of something. Like, when I used to go to tournaments, people, like in the early days, right? Let's say the first or second year of me playing Legacy, people would sometimes say, this card is unplayable. Unspielbar in German. And I would literally take that at face value.
I hate this term so much.
Yeah, but like, I was a noob, and I was like, oh, there must be some like super like metric to understand what it means to be playable or unplayable, because this person who like does well in the tournament says this card is unplayable. So obviously there's like a very objective way of classifying cards, and I don't understand it, and that's so fascinating to me because I want to understand it. And like years later, I learned that so many of us are just like talking out of our ass when you throw out a statement, right? And that's why you hate that statement, probably.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, I see people say it all the time, and it's like this card literally just top 8 a challenge. It's clearly not unplayable. It's just like, people just love to say it because it's such an extreme statement. So they seem cool.
Or Or like these typical like what's it called, like the Delver race games, you know, like both players have like threats and you just win by like 1 point or so, and then you say like, dude, I crushed my opponent. like dude, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you didn't crush him, you barely made it over the line, you know?
And at the same time, the other person's saying, God, if you didn't kill me, I was going to kill you.
Yeah. If I had like one more turn, senor.
Exactly.
Oh, man, yeah. If only this happened, then that would have happened. How do you think about that? Like,
God,
I'm glad that this happened. It's the opposite. Like, it's the opposite thing of when they go, I still had all these. I'm like, yeah, okay, dude,
well,
sure,
cool.
I'll do that to my co-hosts if we play, but no one else.
Did you do that though? Oh, well,
No.
you never win, so never mind.
Whoa.
Well, actually, yeah, I think we have something to talk about.
We gotta talk about this in a bit, I think. I mean, I don't want to talk about it, but like, listeners might want to hear.
Guys, you want to introduce what you've been up to? Because very quick summary for me, I've been at the biggest water sports, boating, whatever trade show in the world. Is it the world?
Is that a water boating trade fair?
Holy shit, yeah.
Water boating trade fair in Düsseldorf for the last 9 days, and I've been repping Kenya and a couple of other destinations that we do, and yeah, I've been selling Kenya and really into that. So didn't really catch a lot of what you guys were up to, even though I knew you were doing commentary and even, I guess we can even call it competing at this point in a tournament in Lyon, France, right?
Yeah. Do you want to give us a rundown, Kai?
Yeah, dude. So it was the MTG Once event. It's a 2-day, like a weekend legacy only tournament, I want to say, even though they do a couple of side events like Old School, I think, and some other stuff. But basically, it's a mid to large size tournament both days, around like 100 players, 100 to 150, and you get exactly what they tell you, like 2 days, lots of legacy, lots of competition, a lot of French players. You have all the people from Paris, Marseille, all those guys, and then a couple of crazy Italians who, yeah, I don't even know what Italians are there all the time, but
it's only a few hours drive.
Yeah.
Well, they said 5. That's like
I guess it's not too bad.
A few plus 2.
Yeah. And I know that event because I've been to MTG once, twice already with my Savatarix booth, and I could already tell that it was a fantastic event, you know, like just focusing on legacy only, which is not a bad thing, I think, because if you do poorly on Saturday, you have another shot on Sunday, which I think is pretty cool. But this time they asked us to do commentary because this was also the first time MTG once did an English stream, right, to get a bigger audience. And in fact, like Gary Campbell also was at the event, I think.
Gary Campbell, winner of GP Birmingham 2018.
Gary.
That dude, yeah.
Yep.
That dude. He likes Magic so much. It's incredible.
We had, just to skip ahead just for very quick, then we'll go back again, but we went for dinner with him on Friday evening, and him and his partner were just saying where all their trips and stuff, and they hadn't been to a non-Magic trip in many, 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 many years, but they'd been to Prague like 5 times last year, not counting everywhere else that they went. Like, they just travel almost every single weekend, but it works. It's beautiful. Like, his love of the game is completely unparalleled. It's like, okay, it's some parallel with Manguchi, I think. It's just crazy. So I love the guy to bits.
Yeah, dude.
Sorry, get back to the weekend.
Well, that's pretty much it. Any questions?
That's pretty much it. Okay, let's move on to the next topic. There was this tournament, you did commentary. Dude, guys, amazing. I can literally imagine it right in front of me.
Okay, all the videos are available on YouTube. I think it's on...
Are they on YouTube? I tried finding them on
so,
YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just put the link to the playlist in the show notes, so we'll link it in the show notes when this gets released.
You guys are so much better than I am.
Yeah.
What's the account called? Because I actually couldn't find it. I bet they have like some obscure name.
La Coin du Jar.
Yeah, La Coin du Jar.
Okay, I thought it was like something
so
obscure.
That's basically like the man, how do we call him? Like the tech and the Anurag Das from France.
The producer.
Yeah, okay. I guess you can say producer, yeah.
you know when the credits roll, they're like the Anurag Das roll.
Cool.
We got this together. Don't worry, we're good.
Yeah. So all the videos are on his channel. Please go ahead and watch, subscribe, do all that except the last round on the Sunday event, because that's definitely not worth watching.
I bet that one was terrible.
It was a big shit show. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So I love the format. Like having a separate event on Saturday and Sunday, I think is really fun. As both, we got to play on Sunday, spoiler alert, which was really nice for us. But even as a player attending, I do love the idea of a big event. But, having a refresh, a lot of people play 2 different decks over the 2 different days. I like this a lot. It's what I would prefer if I was going to an event like this for the mid-size. If you're going to an Eternal Weekend, you want a 2-day event trying to make day 2, I think that makes sense. But for these size events, I would love things like this more often, I think. So really, really cool setup. And I know they're going to branch into like other formats a little bit more in the future. So it's not confirmed yet. But next MTG1's event, they're going to have the venue for the Friday as well. And they're going to do either team trios, maybe Pauper. They're talking to Bose from Italy to like maybe group up and do something together, because Lyon is not too far from Italy, really. So, there's things coming, but I think they're going to still stay predominantly Legacy. That's what they do. I mean, the guys just live and breathe Legacy. They love it to bits. It's really cool to attend an event where you can just tell that, they do it for the love of the game. It's wonderful to attend.
Yeah. So what stuck out the most for you, like, as someone who went there for the first time?
It was really chill and just nice. Everyone was friendly. So for me, apart from like large events like Eternal Weekend, which still feels like quite a different thing to these mid-level events, I'm just used to Four Seasons, which is full of loud Italians. And I love you to bits, loud Italians, but it's nice to have a different one. So for me, it was a lot more quieter, more laid back.
Dude, I love the honesty.
Yeah, but like now that you said, like, dude, it was actually pretty quiet.
Yeah,
but not in a bad way, right?
Had.
Like,
yeah. Also, the venue, I just loved the venue. It was very nice, very spacious. The food was really good. They all made the food themselves. So Luik, he was kind enough to even put us up on Friday night because we had a bit of a miscommunication, which was 110% Kai and I's fault. we didn't have a hotel booked, and the guys had very clearly told us to book one.
You guys forgot to book a hotel.
Yeah, dude, like we found out around
seriously,
3-4 p.m. that we didn't have an accommodation for the whole weekend.
It was even later than that. We messaged them saying, we're going to be at the restaurant for dinner at 8 p.m. It must have been like 7 p.m.
What? Right. Like, and you guys arrived and you literally did not know where to sleep, and you didn't even know that you never have a place to sleep?
Everyone assumed that it's been booked, you know? And it wasn't.
So we messaged them saying, like, what's the address? And they messaged back saying,
the address?
Well, they just said, good question. Yeah, where is the address?
Yeah. What are they talking about?
So they called like a random hotel. Hey, what's your address?
We tried booking on Airbnb. So like you can kind of forget about it because like, booking an Airbnb on the same night, impossible.
Especially on the outskirts of Lyon, like barely in
Brandin.
Brandin, exactly.
Yeah, dude.
So where did you end up? Like, which hotel do we shout out here?
God damn it! It was not a hotel, dude.
It was like somebody's private place.
Yeah, dude.
So shout out to Luik, he's part of the MTG1's crew. We went to the bar with him.
Is it Loic Lebrant or something?
I think so. Yeah.
Is it really?
No.
Top aided like
no.
I'm sorry. No, it's a different Loic, but it's the same name, but different guy.
Because that guy, I'm thinking about top aided GP Paris 2014 with
Blueberry Animator.
But our Loic is, dude, he's a fucking wolf, man. Like, dude,
he's a wolf. Okay.
He knows everyone in.
We were in the bars till 1-2 a.m. and he just knew everyone everywhere.
Yeah. He's also like one of those very rare people who don't know the word no. So like you just keep going, in like more and more bars, more drinks, and like no sleep, or like very little sleep.
Yeah, it's just a wonderful eccentric.
Yeah, dude. We ended up in his apartment, his completely unprepped apartment. Dude, we even carried like blankets in the middle of the night from A to B.
Oh yeah,
that sounds absolute mad. Like when you're in your 30s, that sounds like the craziest thing you can do, right? Guys' nights out, we carried blankets from A to B. Guys,
well, he stopped at his girlfriend's house to get like bedding for us. It was quite sweet.
It was like his ex-wife, I think.
Oh, maybe that.
It was just so. Oh man, dude. Like, okay, I think we're telling too many stories, maybe, and this might be too private, but it was fucking hilarious, dude. It was so messed up. Like the first night, I seriously thought we were not gonna properly do like a good job on Saturday.
I never lost faith.
But you guys thought you did a bad job on Saturday?
No. No. What I thought was like on Friday, really late night.
You were gonna do a bad job on Saturday.
Yeah, I thought like, dude, like
It was like 2 a.m. that we got back, and we had a lot of Long Island iced teas.
Yeah. And you played like, dude, and then you played like Paint Deck versus Reanimator at like 3 a.m. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what happens, right? You don't go to bed. You keep practicing and playing.
We had to, because he was talking loads of shit. He was like, "I'll just fucking kill you turn one," and I think I won 5 games, like game ones in a row, and then he went to bed.
So I'm wondering, what is the holy trifecta? So Kai now forgot to book his flight at times. Now forgot to book the hotel. What's the next thing?
Tell us about the flight. The flight was a breeze, right, Kai?
Oh yeah, I mean the flight
nothing ever goes wrong.
It was nothing like. Actually, it's kind of on brand at this point, because like there's always like a fuck up whenever I take.
True?
Yeah. Like my second flight from Paris to Lyon had like casually delayed for 2 hours, for example.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, dude, seriously.
That's actually kind of lame. Yeah, dude, like this is a little too soft, maybe.
Dude, seriously, you guys are seriously settled into your 30s. I say as a guy who's about to turn 40. Like, if this is like the craziest thing that happens in your 30s, dude, I don't know, man.
No, not too crazy, but it was a classic. Like, he messages me, it's delayed. I'm like, yeah, of course it's delayed, because you just don't have a normal flight.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Did he fly to Charles de Gaulle or Orly?
Oh, dude. Is
Did
that
he fly to the big ass stupid airport or the tiny one?
Small one, I think.
It was like mid-size.
But Charles de Gaulle's in Paris,
what's the comparison here, right? Like did you compare this like to Heathrow or to...
You literally don't know which airport you flew into?
Julian, isn't Charles de Gaulle in Paris?
Yeah, it's like in the northeast of Paris, like halfway to Disneyland or something.
Because we went to Lyon.
Yeah, but you flew to Paris first, right?
Oh, I did. Yeah, I did.
I did. Yeah.
It was like it was very snowy.
Oh,
what's the snowy one, Julian? What's the snowy one?
What's the snowy one?
The snowy one. That's
the snow-covered one.
Snow-covered airport.
Snow-covered airport, yeah.
Dude, I just saw a car today that was like speed demon, and like something is equal to your speed. I'm like, what the fuck is speed? And then like start your engines. I'm like, okay, guys.
Oh yeah, it's kind of similar to Extort, no?
Yeah,
I think one of the mechanics.
Yeah, it was like very similar. Like basically keeps growing as you hit as your opponent loses life. I guess that was how it works.
I could tell you how it works, but I don't think you want to know.
By the way, that's true. Unless it actually becomes unless the card becomes playable, right? It's unplayable until it's playable. That's how it works.
Literally unplayable.
Yeah, no true Scotsman argument and everything.
Anyways, so after a fun Friday night, and it was fun, I had a great time.
Yeah, it was definitely fun, yeah.
We get to the venue in time, have some coffee, and we're there commentating with JA, who, as we said, he was the production guy. Absolutely lovely guy. Had a really good time doing it with him. And so, yeah, we went through, and the day kind of went really fast for me. I don't know how you feel, Kai, but you know, the matches were interesting. We managed to show a real mix of kind of archetypes on stream, which was cool.
Yeah, dude. No, that 100%. I think the deck selection was like, it was really spontaneous, I think. Like most of the time we also didn't really know who to pick, but we got a really nice mix of decks and players, I think, throughout the entire Saturday. And the best part is like there was not a single Nadu deck I think we covered. Maybe one, but that was like a dysfunctional game.
There was breakfast.
Oh, it's breakfast. Yeah,
in the top 8. But it kind of, so the top 8, we'll get into it in a second, but the top 8 is 8, is 7 Yeet decks. There was, two Reanimators. But it was kind of lucky in the beginning that we got no duplicates, or we saw combo especially earlier, and then we were trying to keep Nadu and Reanimator off because we thought we'd see them in the top 8, and it just kind of played out like that. I loved getting Wizards on, so this is Arno, who then commentated Sunday. We got him on 3 times, I think. And it's just cool because it's very interactive, fun Magic. It was playing like Flame of Venor and Snapcasters and stuff, and really cool.
Fucking and then, dude, like fucking Jace Rin's Prodigy and Meddling Mage in the main deck.
Yep. I was sold in it being like Wizards, and then they said Meddling Mage. I was like, oh, there's got to be like 3 or 4 Meddling Mages. One off, but he still had it.
Yeah, dude.
And yeah, so I won't spoil things too much because, you know, we're going to post the whole playlist, and I do recommend you go and watch them. I found the Ruby Storm games really fun to watch as well. That deck just looks really fun because it's just taking a billion game actions and it's all non-deterministic. It's very red, very chaotic, and it was just I enjoyed watching that.
Dude, that deck can grind. Holy smokes, man.
Dude, every single card just draws 2.
Yeah.
If you like Night's Whisper, you're going to love Friends.
Like, it's kind of similar to like how Canadian Threshold out control Miracles. Like, this Storm deck outvalues control decks. It did. It really did against Jeskai Wizards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Oh, goodness.
So we will go over. Should we go over the top 8 though?
Yeah, let's go. Jump into the first one.
So, as just a final note, these were both events here had an ELM qualification. That's the European Legacy Masters. So, whoever came first.
Gonna take place in, is it the Netherlands this time?
Belgium.
Oh, Belgium. It's the Belgium. It's actually, I wouldn't do them so bad.
So
I even knew it was Belgium. It makes it actually worse that it's at Netherlands.
Yeah, but you just decided to fuck with us and try and throw me off.
Let's stick with that.
Yeah, exactly. It's in Belgium. I've forgotten the city actually, but it's called Eternal Mania is the festival. So it's going to be lots of Eternal. So I am going to be there as well. Hope you guys will as well.
Oh, you're going to be there as a competitor, right?
Yes, we can get to that.
Ooh. Are you though?
Maybe. Anyway, so yeah, a European Legacy qualification for both these events for first place. So what was also advertised ahead of time was the Saturday will be a quote unquote proper event with a top 8 played. Sunday is just going to be Swiss standings at the end of it because they need to pack up, shut down the hall. A lot of players have traveled there in the cars and need to get home that evening and stuff. So it made sense. The event will still finish at 5 or 6 p.m. So that's fine. So yeah, the event that we commentated though, we had the top 8. And so spoilers, if you're going to watch the videos, we are going to talk about the top 8. So go and stop listening now, pause it, go and watch the videos and then come back and listen from here. So in first place, and potentially winning the ELM invite was Laurent Ferradon, who he is Triac on MTGO on Twitter, I believe. So he is Triac on Magic Online. So he was playing Blue Black Reanimator. Pretty kind of what I think is stock-ish list. It's the list from Easy Money Marksman. So a lot of people copy him.
The one with Tainted Indulgence?
Yeah, so 2 Tainted Indulgence and 3 Brazen Borrower. They're kind of like the kind of defining features of the deck. A lot of people would show 1 or 2 Borrow before, and Tainted Indulgence is kind of newer that he's added. So he faced Tubo, also on Blue Black Reanimator in the final. So we made the joke that like the more things changed, the more they stayed the same. Blue Black Reanimator final, but the deck wasn't like completely overrun with Reanimator. There was 2 more in the top 16. And I was walking around the tables whenever we had breaks and downtime, and I was just looking at what people were playing. Mm-hmm. The deck is just a top tier deck, so it's going to rise to the top, but it wasn't everywhere seas of it. It wasn't completely dominating, I think. We just happened to have 2 very good players on a very good deck meet in the finals. And holy smokes, did we have a finals. I'll, again, let you go back and watch it, but it's much more interesting than you think it's going to be. So I definitely recommend watching it.
Yeah, dude. I think it was like the biggest back and forth ever.
Oh
especially
my god,
dude! Especially the first game, dude. Holy
that first
smokes,
game was absolutely exhausting.
Dude, I don't even know
way.
like how many anime deaths resolved that game. It was so many.
Yeah, there's so many Archon triggers.
And like Archon's taking care of other Archons and like
it was just like battle cruiser magic, but no one was casting spells that cost more than 1 or 2 mana.
I imagine like somebody watching that who had never watched Magic before, and like they just keep seeing the Archons going in and out, and they're like, "Is this what you guys are like gathering for?" Like,
yeah, is that
like
fun?
are over 100 of you here? Is that what you just like do in your free time? You just like move around cards? Like, dude, it's really deep. Trust me.
Trust. Third place, we have Arno on Jeskai Wizards. We talked about before. Really cool list. It's kind of like Jeskai cards, but again, you've got 4 Snapcasters, 1 Medley Mage, 1 Jace Prince Prodigy, and 4 Tamios to fire up these 4 Flame of Anor, which is a sick card, which is very quickly, it's 3 mana, instant, 1 blue, 1 red, 1 colorless. You can choose 1, and if you control a wizard, as you cast the spell, you can choose 2 instead. And then it's target player draws 2 cards, destroy target artifact, or Flame of Anor deals 5 damage to target creature. So it's obviously a beautiful thing to flashback because Snapcast is your wizard. Just plays really nicely with a bunch of good wizards. So that was really cool to see.
Tamiyo is a wizard as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah, all the creatures except the 4th Erlinga's Human Knights, which is a little off topic.
Anticisionistic, get it out of there. In 4th place, we have Lucas Miton with his mono green post. He is futurism, fake or true, whichever you want to decide. He just crushes with this deck. It's terrifying.
He's like the personification of the deck, right?
Yeah.
but he was like the number player of that entire weekend. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
How much he was winning with this deck.
Yeah, he. So basically, I'll finish the top 8 and then talk about that a bit more.
Okay.
In 5th to 8th, we have then Guillaume with Cephalo Breakfast. We have marked here JM Lazois as on Doomsday, so I'm not sure his exact name. The Ruby Storm, the name here is Budo07. And then rounding out is Quentin Potier on Storm, which is Tez, with White as well for Orum's Chance, I believe. Yeah, 3 Manic Orum's Chance. And a Silence. So pretty cool version. I'm pretty sure Quentin top 8'd both days, which is cool. So nice showing from him and Tez.
I think there were a couple of like double top 8s, right? From what I've seen.
Yeah, Lucas as well did. I think
actually, yeah, that makes it a couple, I guess. Okay, I thought there were
It is a
more.
couple. It is a couple.
It is one couple.
But you're technically correct. So just going back, so basically for the ELM qualification, Lawrence said he definitely can't go, and Tue was having a baby exactly when it happens. So Lucas was 3rd. So it passed down to Lucas to get an ELM qualification. So he was pretty chuffed to get that. He also, he did come 3rd, despite how MTG top 8 says. And he went, I think he went like undefeated in an ID into the top 8 and then just carried on crushing. So very cool there. So go and watch that. That's got Kai and I doing coverage in English all day. So that's our one. And then moving on to Sunday, we had the French stream. So the commentary is all in French, but we do get your boys on camera a couple of times.
Hell yeah.
Kai, do you want to talk
couple
about
of times
Sunday?
even. Like I saw you on camera against some kind of deck that had like 7 dual lands, and you were sitting like on 2 blood moons or something. And I was like, okay, well, that's how you do it.
Yeah, so basically I was on camera for round 6 against...
Did they put you on camera for the first round, either one of you?
Kai was earlier. So actually, Kai, do you want to talk about your tournament?
Yeah, I think I was in a feature match, I think on round 3 or 4, I think, against banned Beanstalk control with Temporal Mastery, and it was, dude, it was a hell of 2 games, and then like I definitely recommend you guys to that video in particular, because I won 2-0, but I don't want you to watch it because I 2-0'd him. I kind of want to, because these 2 games, like they showcase so well how Doomsday can grind versus control decks. Even though Doomsday doesn't really play a lot of card advantage spells, but the games were highly interactive. I think my opponent had like all the forces in the world, plus thwart and some other stuff. But yeah, it was just like a really really cool back and forth.
The opponent played thwart.
Yeah, dude.
What?
Yeah.
That kind of spell, like bounce 3 islands, counter target spell.
Bounce 3 Mr. Centuries, baby.
Yeah, it's.
I remember.
I think it's their engine or something. I don't know.
This is Phil Blackman tech from Eternal Battles.
Is it Phil Blackman tech? Because I remember it as Mark-Eric Vogt tech, because he told me, maybe he got it from Phil, right?
I think, yeah, they both have.
The thwart is the engine of the deck, because you get to bounce and replay your Arcane Sanctums as a Sanctuary. Yeah. And I thought, I was like, wait, your counter spell is the engine of the deck? How does it work? And then you see it in action. It kind of works.
The end game is quite disgusting because you just keep replaying it. But
right.
You need to have a lot of islands in play to do that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's not nothing, right? Like I honestly don't know how good this card actually is, because it is a counterspell you cannot cast on your first 2 turns, right? And like if you cast on your 3rd turn, then you basically give up on all your lands.
I think it's like if you cast it on your first turn, on your 3rd turn, you're either winning hard or losing hard, kind of.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
It is a late game engine. It's not a free counterspell. Is the way to look at it, I think.
Like imagine sitting there, like you cast your Tarmogoyf and your opponent is like, let's undo 3 turns of development.
Yeah.
Like you play like 1.5 copies of, I don't know, well, it's not really Plow Under, I guess, because it's not cards. Yeah, but anyway. What I'm wondering is, I remember, Kai, when you played that tournament series against, was it Bosch and Roll, who also played something like Band Control, and you were actually struggling against, the combination of, what did you have, or the deck at the time, like Dress Down and Endurance, and it wasn't all that easy, right?
Yeah, so Doomsday had the probably all-time best win percentage against control before Modern Horizons 2, because there was nothing like Dress Down, there was no Endurance. like Ragavan obviously, but like none of those cards existed. So like the only way how control, like it was like the Astrolabe Snowco deck. The only card that mattered post Doomsday was Archmage's Charm. Target the Doomsday player. That was literally the only card, and it's really easy to counter because it's a 3-mana spell. But yeah, like, and so I was so like Bot Nietzsche and I like we kind of stopped brewing against control because the matchup was just so easy, and then Modern Horizons 2 happened. Now it just took me a while to realize how the matchup has like changed so much, because I think how Brian, like Boschenroll, played against me was he let most of my Doomsday resolve, and then he thought over the endurance or dress down with his like, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 Force of Wills, you know.
Yeah.
So it was a
dress
totally
down
different
especially
game.
is like so backbreaking, right? Because you can't even play the game of just like naturally drawing through your deck and then just like dropping the Oracle with, let's say, Cavern, because you still lose.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Cavern of Souls also like just does not matter against dress downs. And that's also, by the way, like why I'm so low on Cavern of Souls and Doomsday recently, because nobody actually counters your Thassa's Oracle right now in Legacy. Like what people do is like they consign to memory Thassa's Oracle, so Cavern of Souls doesn't do anything. The only time where you actually want Cavern of Souls is against tempo decks, game 1, where they don't have consign to memory. That's the only scenario. And yeah. And
awesome weirdos play loads of Pyroblast main deck.
Yeah, I guess it's not too bad. But like, you know, Painter and Moonstompy, like they play moons, right? And yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It's not
true.
Yeah.
You got to do some cool things in the match, though. I did watch it back afterwards, and you know, you pitched a Cabal Ritual to Force a Will, quote unquote. And
I should do like and people should do this also like more often. It's much better with Dark Ritual, but like Dark Ritual plus 2 open blue mana plus Force of Will is basically a Force of Will.
And you got to show off like Night's Whisper as well, going Cabal Ritual into Doomsday Night's Whisper and stuff.
Oh, dude, my baby.
It's a good showing for the skulls.
Dude, yeah, what a boomer card, but man, I love it so much. I just love it so much. It's
Night's Whisper is just like such a cool card. Like when you first see that, actually, like at times was a vintage card, and you really start to appreciate it. And then when you see it show up in Legacy, it always feels
card.
like, dude, it's so cool that this is like what we do here.
Yeah, dude, it's the gush in Legacy. Okay, I think we can close the podcast now. All right, this was enough.
10 years from now, people were like, like on Jeopardy, this card was called the Gush of Legacy by everyday eternal host Kai Savatari.
There was also like the last episode of Kai Savatari. That's interesting.
Yeah, see, this is what we were talking about earlier. Like we just renewed your contract, and now we have to wait it out until
it's a
we can
12-year
fire
contract.
you.
No, until I joined the Serum Visions podcast, or should I call the Night's Whisper podcast?
I think the Serum Visions podcast is actually out. It's just like so underground, nobody knows about it. It's just like one guy talking for like 2 hours, and then like nobody downloads it, and he's like, yeah, another underground episode, here we go. Just like he even keeps it on his computer, right? It's, not even
It's
on
like the old
internet.
storm boards you have to apply to it.
Yeah, that kind of was denied.
Stormboards, oh man, dude.
Are they still around? I feel like we ask this question every like 5th episode because they were so cool.
Yeah.
I doubt it. Kai, do you want to talk about the rest of your event? Anything else interesting?
Oh, well, no, that's it. No. All the shit was kind of boring. No, just kidding. I don't know. I had great games. I played against 2 Death and Paxis players, which was I was just really fortunate to play against that deck because it's really easy. Then I played against Control. I played against Grixis Control, and oh man, dude! And just really quickly, dude, I lost to fucking Kolaghan's Command, not the Kozaks, the Grix, the fucking 3-mana shock, make you discard. Thing.
So I played against the same Grixis Control player, and I lost a game to Kolaghan's Command as well. And during the game, I was like, dude, I can't lose as well to this guy. Like with Kolaghan's Command, after Kai has as well. He's like the eternal podcast killer.
Dude, this card is actually not that bad.
No,
all the modes are still. Yeah, it's not fantastic, but it's a really solid Magic card still.
I love the card. I think it's super sick. It's like Night's Whisper, where like these old. Well, it's not that old, is it? But it's. I mean, I used to play Grix Control. I loved it.
Yeah, I was almost gonna like intervene when Kai was about to call it like an old school card. Like Kolaghan's Command is to me like a symbol of the decline of like synergy. Okay, that's actually kind of hard to like. It has tons of synergy, especially like with Snapcaster Mage, right?
Oh, dude, and Baleful Strix, dude, hell yeah.
Yeah, but it also it made way for Jackpile, which was like the ultimate, just like bulldozer, which like it's blue chunt kind of.
Not very elegant.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like what I miss in Legacy so much is like a draw step discard. That's like because there's just almost nothing in Legacy right now that does it. You know, like after you draw step, I don't know. Like,
I did it tons with. I don't know if I was on the podcast then, but when I was like playing Esper Mentor, I did it a ton then because I was playing 2 or 3 Teferis and hymns and Thought Seizers and Inquisitions.
Shit, dude!
I did it quite a lot. It can be brutal.
Yeah.
Doesn't Piracy Charm make you discard a card?
It does.
Yeah, you could implement that on like an Isochrome scepter or something.
Cool.
Yep, you can.
Cool.
You can, or you can put a Orum's Chant on an Isochrome scepter.
Yeah, guys, do you remember you playing against Orum's like scepter chant for the very first time? It's
I was in love with it.
Bullshit.
I played it in extended.
Absolute bullshit.
Yeah, it is.
I remember when somebody played it at my school, and obviously, like, we didn't have sideboards and nothing, like, and like artifact and enchantment destruction. It's just like, no, we just like do permanent destruction. But there was like 6 mana sorcery stuff, like I don't know, Desert Twist or whatever it was called. And then somebody shows up with Scepter Chant, and you're like, are you for real? Like, do you want to play this game with us, or do you not? Because it looks like you don't want to play this game. Yeah.
Well, you don't want to play this game. You're not even casting any spells, so
yeah.
Yeah, you were the guy. I can see.
Yeah, I was.
I was the guy with the Desert Twister. Didn't like it all that much.
Oh god.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So I had a blast playing as well. I got to play my beloved Painter, and I carried on playing this kind of Goblinless build I've been playing. And I don't know, I just kind of went into it just with the pure, very naive thought of like, I'm just going to play matches and have a good time because I've had a good time this weekend already. So it's just kind of like a free roll in a way. And then, I don't know, round 1 I won against Rhinos. Round 2, then I beat a Nadu Breakfast player. And then round 3, I remember exactly where I was in the hall. I'm looking at my phone. There's literally one person the whole event I do not want to play against. I look at my thing, pull down, refresh. Up comes Lucas Mieton. And he is Mr. Fake Futurism. And I look up from my phone, and I'm on table 3, and I look up, and he's just there, pointing at the chair, smiling. I'm like, you motherfucker. So if anyone doesn't know, Post against Painter it's just the worst matchup. It's so, especially this current build, you know, Khan shuts off your combo. You have the 1 ring to like just go over the top and out muscle. They have Force of Vigors, Source of Plowshares, main deck flutes. It's just impossible.
And the Emrakul too, right?
And yeah, that's very important. Thank you. The Emrakul too. So even if there isn't a Khan in play, the Emrakul you need to assemble Soulglow Lantern plus a Grindstone plus a Painter, and they can't have fluted you as well. It's just so bad. I mean, they play Passager as well, so you can't even like blast that. It's just like the worst in every way.
I remember when you first told me that this matchup was like horrible for Painter like 2 years ago or something, and I was like, I don't believe this guy, and then I got destroyed by it like time and again on Magic Online.
The old versions with like Primeval Titan were slower, and that was a lot more doable. It was still hard, and I'd still say it was one of the worst, but Sneak and Show used to be the worst, and that was second. Now it's absolutely this.
Oh, dude. Like, did you even try to beat this deck, or like, did you just
so
acknowledge? Okay.
So actually, I played the Legacy Challenge yesterday, and I beat him in the challenge.
Here we go.
It was the first time I've ever beaten him, I believe. I can't remember exactly. Maybe I've played against him with other decks, but basically, I did the same thing at the event and yesterday in the challenge. I sided out all 3 Grindstones and the Soulglow Lantern, and I sided in more blasts. So I'm like, if I assemble Painter plus Blast, I can counter your rings or destroy your lands. And I just had to be an aggro deck, and it kind of worked. Just mulligan to Saga and Pyrogoyf and stuff.
Pyrogoyf has been so good for you, right?
Yeah. So anyway, I lost that one. Game 1, I had like a Tomon Fable, and I was like, right, if I can just draw a 1 ring or some kind of pressure. And then my turn 2 was a Simian Spirit Guide. Turn 3 was a Simian Spirit Guide. Turn 4 was a Simian Spirit Guide. And
that must have been a pretty good hand.
Yeah. So it wasn't quite the full of I was wanting.
You would have actually accelerated out that Simian Spirit Guide on the first turn if you wanted to.
No, maybe. I think I drew them off the Fable.
Like if you played it on the second turn and you had 2 of them, unless you drew into one.
Because I drew 3 cards on the next turn from Fable, I think I drew into them. Maybe I had another one. I chose to play,
I mean, I'm not saying that.
I chose to play Fable turn 1 over Assuming Spirit Guide. How about that?
Yeah. That sounds quite reasonable. Defendable.
Yeah. Anyway, I put up a fighting game too. He boom piled me, and if he lost the flip, boom pile is a 3 or 4 mana artifact where you tap it, flip a coin, and if you win the flip, you destroy all non-land permanents.
The fuck?
Yeah, dude.
It's a sick card. I was just like, you know what? Fair play. So I had a Blood Moon, but he had a Khan, and if it didn't flip, I had an Abrade to kill it, and then I actually had some pressure. So it would have been a game, 50-50 close game. Anyway, he promptly destroyed me very quickly. And then I rattled off a bunch more wins, and then I went on camera for round 6. I got to play against Cyril Pitelot, who I've known for quite a few years. Met him at Eternal Weekend in France years ago. Really cool guy. He was on 4-color Nadu Bean stuff. We had a weird game 1 and 2 where I just kind of kept one landers because I mulliganed 5, and then kind of got there slowly. Game 1, I think I won when I just counted myself out already, but rattled off a few mountains. Game 2, he consigned my Saga make mana trigger, which was really rude, and then I died. And then game 3 was a lot more fun, a lot more back and forth. I had like a very slow hand with, I think it was just like 2 Fables, 2 Rings, and 3 Mountains kind of thing. But it was a slow game, but I kind of muscled through it. We traded resources, and then I landed a Blood Moon when he tapped out. And what happened was he had like a Teferi and an Uro in hand, and I got to play a Ring, play a Blood Moon. That resolved. So I was like, all right, he definitely doesn't have a Force of Will. So I got to double pitch Fury to kill the Uro, which is generally a really, really terrible, very all-in play, but then it was safe. So got to beat him, but close games really, because if he just had a bit of interaction there. He did have a Force of Will in hand, but didn't have the blue card for it. And he had a Solitude in hand, but I played a Blood Moon rather than a Magus. So afterwards he was like, I was ready for the Magus. And then round 7, I got to play against your boy, Kai Sawatari.
Can I quickly stop you there? Yeah. It's kind of funny. Like you can kind of tell the history of Painter or of the metagame in a way where like whether the preferred disruption is Blood Moon or Magus of the Moon, because it keeps switching, right? But not very quickly. But in these like huge eras that come to an end, because I've also noticed that we've been playing a lot more Blood Moons again over Magus of the Moon recently.
Yeah, actually, I talked to someone today about it. It's based
like here on the podcast.
No, to a friend, to Max Dorschen on Discord today. It's for Eldrazi, basically. Eldrazi is the numbers are ticking down, but I tried playing 0 Moons in the main deck for a couple of weeks a while ago, and I lost every single match against Eldrazi. It was like a bit of a test to see if I can fight through it, but you can't. So in my head, it's just an Eldrazi hate card, and obviously there's a bunch of splash damage. So against Bean decks, it's quite good, as it showed on camera. And you know what? It's okay against some combo decks, and you do sideboard it in against other things. So yeah, it definitely won game 3 here against this deck, and it was better than being a Magus. But yeah, it does switch around a lot, and I wish we could just not play Blood Moons, because I get caught siding in too often when really the Sagas are just better than the Blood Moons. So it's a weird one, but you just have to have it for Eldrazi at the moment. So then, yeah, got to play against Kai on stream. We were on table 2 or 3, and then like Jay was coming over to see who was playing and see what the feature match would be.
Yeah, it was such an epic showdown, I think, because like we were commenting the previous day, and then on Sunday we were like both 5-1.
Yep.
At this event, like we didn't expect anything. I didn't expect anything on Sunday. I just jumped into the rounds. I was just really chill the whole day. Mm-hmm. Then I got bumped into this guy right here.
It was the final round, right?
It was the final round, and draw, like, ID was no option.
No bueno.
For us. No. We wanted to play this one out. And also, I don't know if you might have like mentioned this like a million times on this cast, but like I have a terrific match percentage versus Callum. It's not even funny anymore, but like it's especially in limited.
Okay. We'll talk about that after this.
Oh, dude, like you have to. Yeah. But like, but we had 3 fast but still like interesting games. I think a lot happened very quickly. I want to say.
Did you guys know that you were probably gonna face each other? Or was like quite a surprise?
Dude, like man, like the competition, it was stacked. Like Matteo Blasi was 5-1.
It was Matteo Blasi versus Lucas Mitton on the table next to us. So that was a hard one to choose. I think I would have gone for them, but
Luca Fasoli was also 5-1. Like it was stacked. It was stacked. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
no, dude, I'm definitely choosing the everyday Eternal Mirror for the last round.
Yeah, it was cool, I thought. So yeah, we did have really interesting games. It was like game 1, you killed me really fast. Was it turn 1 or 2?
I think it was a turn 1 Doomsday.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I think was it the nasty one where I like where I had like the God Ponder and like I cycled through my LED into
that was
Doomsday?
game 2.
That was game 2. All right.
So
okay.
yeah, game 1 you had Dark Ritual, Thoughtseer's You, Dark Ritual, Doomsday.
Hell
You
yeah.
mull to 5.
I mull to 5, by the way. Yeah,
Fuck, dude.
But because you
Like,
know
this is why people hate you, Kai.
so he took like my hand was like Tomb, Double Spirit Guide, and Saga and Fable or something. So you took the Fable, which was right, and then killed me turn 2 or turn 3 maybe. It was sweet.
Yeah.
You know this. Whenever you don't get into Berkine, remember this moment because this is why they don't let you into Berkine. Did you
No,
get
I
in
think
last night?
Berkheim would like this. It's
Yeah,
evil.
I think
It's
so.
cool.
Yeah, you have an edge. So
yeah.
that's cool.
Oh, you gotta have an edge. True,
Yeah,
you told me. Yeah, that's. Did you get in last night? I still wanna
You gotta
know.
have a turn 1 Doomsday and Thoughts is your opponent, right? It's
Yeah.
dark stuff.
Obviously. Then game 2 was the cool one where you again turn 2. Turn 1, I don't know what you did, but turn 2 you went Ponder, and I watched the video back, and your Ponder was like the nuts. So you found the Doomsday on top, and like the mana to. You then got to Ponder or something into the Doomsday on top by cracking the LED that you had naturally in hand. So yeah, you found everything you needed on that. So it was a turn 2 Doomsday, and I think you had dazed my Blood Moon as well. Maybe it's another game.
And possibly.
Yeah.
But then I still lost that game.
Yeah.
And this is like
was
one of the things that where like Doomsday players in general like struggle so much against Painter is that you cannot cover everything, right? So what I did was I added a second basic island to my pile to beat Blood Moon. I think I also added something to not lose to a Pyroblast. I think I had like an extra Cavern of Souls as the bottom card or so.
Yeah, that was right.
But my pile was rather slow and was not well equipped against the card Grindstone.
Yeah.
Right.
Because basically my hand was 2 blasts and a red source. I can't remember if you knew it or not, because I can't remember that. But I then decided to play a turn 2 Saga after. Yeah, I went turn 1 Ancient Tomb, red source, Blood Moon, and you forced it. So I had a Blood Moon turn 1 on the play, and I was really unsure because I could go for turn 2 protected by a Pyroblast, but I didn't know how many Thoughtseize versus like counter magic you'll have in. So I just thought, you know what, turn 1 there's such a huge upside, I just go for it, and then the blasts are okay afterwards anyway. But then I went for a turn 2. You had then Doomsdayed, and I decided to not leave up blast after you've Doomsdayed because I wanted to get the Saga down. And then that ended up winning me the game because the following turn, I then have Saga coming up to get the Grindstones, so that forced you to just play the Oracle.
Wait. You went for Saga, and then the following turn you had Grindstone?
No, the following 2 turns after that, because Kai then went, because he sacrificed LED, he had no cards in hand after he Doomsdayed, so it had to be a pretty slow pile. If you just went 4 cyclers, you lose to Pyroblast and Blood Moon, so you made a slower one to beat the hate, but then because I played the Saga turn 2, and then turn 3 I played a red source to have a blast up for the Oracle, because I was threatening to get the Grindstone the following turn, you had to go for it, because otherwise I could just get it in Grindstone at you, and you had 2 cards left, so you had to play it without the Cavern, and I did have to blast. So
right.
I was like not expecting to win that one, but I think your pile makes tons of sense to me.
Yeah, but the threat of having the Grindstone just made me play faster. Like even and it kind of pushed me out of my comfort zone, basically, right? And that's when you got me. So that was a really interesting game.
I think so. It was again like just a few turns, but the micro decisions. Like I did think for a second, where turn 2, do I play a mountain and leave up blast? Or do I play the Saga, hope that you've not gone for like triple cycler?
Like balls to the ball?
Yeah. And I was rewarded. I guess, the more I think about it, I didn't really have a decision because I'm not going to win if I just leave up a blast because he's obviously thought of that. So, yeah. And then game 3 was like slower and more interactive, right?
I think so. Yeah. Again, I think I had like at least 1 counter, maybe 2, I think, for your actions, like for your Blood Moon, I think.
Yeah, I remember you...
Something else.
You hardcasted a Daze on the Blood Moon on turn 2. And then I had a slower-ish hand, or maybe it was a Fable, and I think it was...
Oh, dude, that was the game where I personal tutored for Night's Whisper.
Yeah,
Hell
baby.
yeah.
I was getting to that. So, Julian, have you ever seen someone personal tutor for a Night's Whisper?
The fuck? What's the point of that?
No.
That's just like so terrible. I guess if you want to turn your personal tutor into something rather than just like letting it rot in your hand.
It like cycles the personal tutor in a very bad, slow way.
Yeah, that's the slowest, most terrible cycle I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Your personal tutor for Gush.
I don't know, some
I'll call it
Three Kingdoms card that basically does the same.
Yeah.
It was actually pretty good at this point because I only had 2 lands. One of them was a Cavern of Souls.
Pretty good confirmed. Okay.
Yeah. And
because you had like your hand at that point was you had dazed. I think I played Fable turn 2 as kind of bait so I can resolve a Blood Moon at some point. But you had dazed, double force of will, personal tutor, and as you said, like a Cavern and an Underground Sea, and the Cavern's not really doing anything. And maybe you had some mana as well, something like that. So you needed to do something. And then, you made a really good play. Again, I watched the thing back. I then, put a Saga down. I was threatening things. I think you forced a Blood Moon, which I played. And then, I was threatening my own combo. I was threatening lots of interaction. As you said, Painter puts you in a bind of you can lose to many different ways, and it puts you under pressure of trying to enact your own thing. So you then go for like a really all-in play, which makes tons of sense to me, as you tap the Cavern for mana and then just cycle it off with an Edge of Autumn. And you didn't have the Doomsday yet. Or maybe you had the Doomsday, but you didn't have the 3rd black mana.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I already had the Doomsday. I was just looking for mana.
And so you found the fetch land, and you go for the Doomsday, and then you have the Pedal and a Brainstorm to go for it. But your boy has a Mindbreak Trap.
Oh, dude. That was such a kick in the balls, dude.
Didn't we even talk about how the card is actually kind of bad, but you sometimes do want it? I remember talking about Mindbreak Trap on the last episode.
It's bad until it's amazing.
So it's like you're saying it's like unplayable until it's playable?
It's literally unplayable until it's playable. Not close.
Actually, it might actually be literally unplayable until it's playable.
Yeah, I've cast one a few times, like with treasures from Fable and Mox Opal and Pedal and stuff.
I used to cast them a lot on like blue-green post mirrors, where you would like side it in, and then you wait for the opponent to cast the Emrakul, and then like you hard cast it and remove the Emrakul.
Easy.
It was like a real thing. Like, and if your opponent didn't know about it, like it actually gave you like a huge strategic leg up. I can't speak anymore. Like I've been talking about Kenya for 9 days. I can even like tell with my voice.
That's
cool.
Like we got you. So yeah, very fun end to the game. Very fun into the match. I thought I enjoyed it. You'll get me one day, Kai. But yeah. So to end that off, again, I had 0 expectations, but 6-1 was a really cool result. This deck is just humming for me because I'd gone 10-0 in the challenge the weekend before.
Please, someone stop this man, please.
Yeah, you're 16-1, and you're saying, yeah, this deck is humming for me.
This deck is all right.
This guy is 16-1 in competitive events.
And I played the challenge yesterday, and I 7-0'd the Swiss, and then I won the quarters, and I lost the semis finally. So it was like 23-2. Yeah,
unbelievable. It's
actually insane, dude. Those stats are out of this world. This is basically almost like what I had when I won Bazaar of Mox and all that stuff.
Yeah.
This is like, seriously, like we need to talk about this more. Like, you removed the goblins.
Yeah.
You added more fat. You added more acceleration, more combo. Mm-hmm. And I guess Legion Extruder.
Yeah. I mean, so the real thing is the One Ring is a fucked up card.
You didn't want to play it for such a long time.
Yeah, and I stand by it. I knew that I didn't want to buy them online or on paper because they're really expensive. I knew I could borrow them, and I just like to get my own things. I'm like that.
You're precious.
But previously, I didn't think of playing Zero Goblins before because there was a lot of Painter players playing the One Ring at the Eternal Weekends and stuff, but they all played Engineer as far as I know. And I didn't play any Goblins at Eternal Weekend, but a different list as well. Because I've just been feeling every time I play them, they're just slow. The format's too fast for it. The format is too interactive for them as well. Because its command is such a beating, like exile a thing and remove these things from the graveyard. But ultimately, they're fine. They're not bad. Like, the mono-red version with Goblins is a good deck, absolutely. But they just weren't feeling powerful enough for me. So this build just feels like a step up in power. Like, you're putting permanents into play faster. It has a ton of interaction as well. It's got 13 to 15 1-mana spells, and I'm playing like 4 Bolts, 3 Furies, 2 Paragoyf. It's like a red mid-range deck. It plays control a lot. It plays this very long grindy games. So yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of the ring. I don't really like the card. I kind of wish it was never printed, but it's just working really well in this deck. So
Kai, do you still own your like super disgusting looking rings?
Oh, I borrowed them.
Okay, question answered.
So before the event, I messaged him and say like, dude, do you have like, it plays 3 city and I only have 2 as well. And then I said, do you have a city and some rings to borrow? And he's like, I've got these rings. I'm like, amazing. That's perfect. And he sends me a picture. And it's like two really ugly ones. And I genuinely think about asking someone else for 2 other ones. Oh god,
dude! Because like all your opponents probably thought like, dude, like this Callum guy, dude. Like I don't know what's up with him, but like his taste,
fucking
is
ugly
just,
one and mismatched. Like, oh my god, dude. Oh, it's on camera.
This is the kind of disrespect you pay to the One Ring when you actually hate the card.
Oh yeah. And these ugly ones are so expensive. They're like 300 euros or something.
Wait, a piece?
Yes.
Yeah, dude. It's insane.
You're kidding me. The ugly ones cost like 1,200 euros for a playset?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like 6
Kai,
times the price.
It's
like,
you
it's
almost
almost
a piece of power for?
Yeah, kind of. It's like 6 times the price of a regular one.
Oh god.
Never change, Kai, okay? Please, never change.
So there we are. And his other ones are 1 German, 1 English.
Yeah, dude. It was like the most disgusting looking playset ever.
But thank you for the lend. And Greg did offer 4 Japanese foil ones. I was like, it's cool. I'm going to take the ugly ones. I don't want that in my deck.
Yeah.
So what was cool about this event was I had, as we said, 0 expectation. I had a blast. Like, I really just had a good time playing. I know you're meant to, but like I was very chill with my opponents, chatting, joking around. I wasn't trying to win the matches on purpose, if that makes sense. I was just trying to have a good time. And then the standings come in, and I'm actually second in the standings. I was like, oh shit, I did a lot better than I thought. I thought I'd be 3rd or 4th at 6-1, whatever. And then who is in first? My little nemesis, Lucas Miton, who ended up getting the invite for ELM passed down to him on Saturday. So the invite passed down to me on Sunday.
Wait, it passed down to him on Saturday because he was like 4th place?
He was 3rd. He was 3rd.
Oh, yeah, 3rd.
And Laurent definitely couldn't go. And Tubo was having a kid at the same time. So that passed down to him. And yeah, so I got the ELM invite passed down on Sunday. And we got, nice prize money. So I got to buy the 3rd City of Traitors from prize as well, which was nice. So it was a really good event for me because I got to meet Kai on camera, which was the best thing. And then, ELM, I wanted to go anyway. So basically this coming weekend, there is a ELM qualifier about 2 hours away from me, but I was going to try and go. But now I've also got a friend visiting that weekend. So I was going to be like, do you mind if I go on Sunday? But no, I don't have to, which is nice. So yeah, I'm hyped. Like I was going to go to this Eternal Mania weekend anyway, but now I've got an invite to ELM. I'm absolutely there. I love.
Remind me again. When is Eternal Mania happening?
It is. Let me just pull up my thing. I think it's the 1st or 2nd weekend of August. It is the
8th. Oh, that's a lot of time.
8th, 9th, and 10th of August.
So if you're listening to this, definitely try to qualify. It's actually going to be exciting, right? Because this is the first time ELM is not going to be in Italy.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. And it's a couple of hours on the train from Brussels.
Brussels?
Yeah. It's in Hasselt. Hasselt.
Now that you mentioned that, just remembered, because there used to be a lot of like famous tournaments in Hasselt, like 10, 15 years ago. I never went, but I remember like reading up on all the tournaments, like, oh, this happened in Hasselt, that happened in Hasselt. I was like, this must be this mythical place where like all the good players go. And then I realized Callum was like qualified for that. I'm like, okay, it's disenchanted.
It's not actually near Brussels, but Belgium's not that big. It's close enough.
But basically, like once you like go 2 hours away from Brussels, you've got the entire country covered, right?
Yeah. So if anyone wants more information, it's just eternalmania.com. So definitely go and check it out.
Awesome.
But Kai and I played even a lot of cool Magic this weekend. So about a month or 2 before going, I was introduced to this thing called the Degenerate Microcube. I played it in London with some friends. And oh boy, is this a cube. So I actually asked for more information from my friends earlier. So it's made by a guy called Andy Goldman. Anyone that cubes a lot will know his name, I think. He's on the Lucky Paper podcast, I believe, with a guy called Anthony Maddox. And he has like loads of cubes on Cube Cobra that people copy and stuff. And I've played a couple of his other ones with friends as well. And they're really cool. One's like the Bun Magic Cube, where it's like condensed aggro, but high power level and stuff. It's all very unique and stuff. Anyway, the idea of this Degenerate Microcube is the power level is insane. There's no Moxen. but you have like Ancestral Recall and Time Walk and whatever, and you have all these combos. So the archetypes in it are basically combo, where you have like Reanimator, everything, and Show and Tell, Channel, really busted stuff. You have Prison, which you have like Mishra's Workshop and Spheres and Chalice and all that stuff, and Lodestone Golem. And then you have Control, which is a lot of discard and counter magic and removal. So you draft this cube. It's 196 cards, if I remember right. So you're meant to draft the whole thing because then you get all the combos opened. But you don't die from decking, and you draw and you make a deck of 15 cards. So,
what?
Yeah, exactly. This is the cool thing. So within those 15 cards is everything like a whole deck. All your mana, all your things to cast spells. You can get basic lands for free, but really you don't even really want to be playing basic lands because the lands are quite powerful. You have jewels and soul lands and stuff. So in this 15 cards, you need to have your combo. You need to be able to have your combo work consistently and beat your opponent's interaction. And you also need some interaction as well because, man, like I had a really broken deck that just played Channel turn 1 for Emrakul like every game and stuff. The thing is really degenerate because that's the name of it. But it's this amazing puzzle where you build this deck. And the archetypes are really fun but defined. And games can finish in the first few turns because it is powerful. But because the drafting and the games and everything is so fast, you just play it a ton.
Yeah, dude. Like we did like a complete draft, like a 2-player draft plus best of 3 between rounds of this Legacy tournament.
Yeah,
I don't think there's another limited format where you can do something like this.
No, I just caught my flight on Sunday, but we did a draft in the morning. So we definitely left too late because we didn't think of the traffic. I had to run and sprint for my plane. I was the last person to get on, and I got there just in time. But at 8 a.m., we ordered the Uber and then drafted and played a game before we left. So cool. And the other beautiful thing is the sideboarding is really intense. So you see your opponent's decks. You want to draft lots of sideboard cards. There's Pyroblasts, there's Ancient Grudges and Force of Vigors. There's other counter spells and stuff. So you need to draft a sideboard that can be other things as well. And I don't know, it's incredible. So we played so much of it. I introduced lots of the Italians and French people to it as well. We played multiple drafts Sunday evening with the Italians at our Airbnb. So fun. So I think you've ordered one for yourself, and I think the Italians are ordering one as well.
Yep.
For Cube.
Yep. Getting the same one.
So everyone check out the Degenerate Microcube. If you just search that in Google, it'll come up on Cube Cobra, I believe. So
yeah,
remind me again, who actually came up with it?
It's this guy called Andy Goldman. So cool. I've only got his name because I asked my friends before we started recording saying, who's the guy again? Because they're Cube addicts and they listen to his podcasts and stuff. I haven't, but man, his cubes are absolutely amazing every time I play them because they introduced me to them. So I'm just in love with this thing. It's so fun.
I'm gonna try it out, guys.
Yeah.
What actually are your plans for the upcoming like tournaments and events and everything? Because I know I've been a lot more selective recently about like what I attend, but I want to hang out with you again.
I don't have anything apart from Eternal Mania planned now. I've been away quite a lot already this year, so I've been trying to like not book anything else until that. But you know what? Someone's going to say something, and I'm a yes person, so I'm like, yeah, go on then.
Callum, there's this tournament on the other side of the world. Like, there's going to be beers. Sign me up.
Yeah, sounds cool.
There's going to be a new cube you've never tried. Oh, and by the way, there's also a Legacy tournament. Yeah, you can crush it with a painter.
It's hard to say no to those kind of things.
Yeah, dude, it's just really good to have like 2 formats that are just so different. But like, dude, I fucking love this thing.
Yeah.
It's really so much. Also, like, I think like in 6 out of 7 times I drafted, I had like Phyrexian Dreadnought plus Dress Down or Stifle. Every single time. And every single time it was not enough.
No, I have to just say I don't think you beat me a single time.
No, I did not. And every time I kept saying that I have like the most broken deck every time I draft, and then you killed me 2-0. So
what was the one where you had Greg on Friday evening and you were like, oh my god, it's all coming together? And I had that was where I drafted. So here's an example of like a really cool deck that you can do, Julian. So what's interesting about the format is actually raw card advantage is pretty bad. I would say Ancestral Recall is in the bottom half of the cards.
Oh, really? Is it?
Yeah, because you draw 7 cards out of your 15, so you've drawn half your deck already. And so if you draw 3 more cards, okay, you're like a third of the way through your deck. But if the game goes 3 more turns, then you've just drawn your whole deck anyway. So like Gash and Ancestral Recall are just not that good. Like,
So you rather opt for like raw power.
yeah, basically. So what's actually very, very good are cards that shuffle your graveyard back into your library. So Endurance is absolutely insane. Memory's Journey is just good at what it does, but it's also graveyard hit against Reanimator. Elixir of Immortality is fantastic as well. So my favorite deck I drafted was the one where Kai thought he had the most busters one ever, where I had a Collective Brutality as the win con. So it was 1 and a black, drain you for 2. And then I had just counter spells and removal or discard spells. And then I used Flash, Nash, and Rider to just exile all his permanents. And then Elixir of Immortality just shuffled it all back in again. So it's just like a really hard control deck that wins with Collective Brutality. That's an example of like a 15-card pile that has a very robust game plan because you have counter spells and discard as well.
In a way, it's like a much more interesting, sophisticated version of the what's it called, 3-card Monty deck, right?
Yeah, it could be. I remember that talking about that, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are degenerate microcube pilled, as they'd say.
Cool. Kai, what are you up to?
I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. I think starting from in February I will stream again. I didn't stream at all in January. So this will come back, and with it, I think more preps maybe for some events, but like nothing has been planned so far. What I know is that we will probably end up in Spain again this year.
Oh yeah.
Although nothing has been like announced so far, but Impact Returns always happens in summer, and that's like one of the summer highlights. So
yeah, it would be the 3rd time going for us, right? 2nd time for Callum. I'd be totally down. We gotta hit up those guys again.
Same.
Awesome,
yeah, dude.
Awesome. And if you're listening to this, we're already advertising the event. I think we don't even know the dates or maybe not even the city, depending on what they do. But yeah, check out Impact Returns, usually in Naron, northwestern Spain, Galicia. Amazing event. We've been there like twice now, and it's been happening for over 10 years. So definitely check that one out. Also, big shout outs to, it was MTG Once in Lyon, right?
Mm-hmm.
I kept calling it MTG One, but it's actually MTG Once.
Yeah, I want to say, so their next event is I'm just scrolling to find the date. I believe it's the last weekend of May. Yeah, the last weekend of May. So it's going to be like the Friday the 30th of May, 31st, and the 1st of June. That's their next event. And it will probably be in Lyon. So, we talked to them afterwards, and they said, like, any constructive feedback, whatever. The event itself was perfect. It's the area like on the outskirts of Lyon is a bit hard to get to, but they're looking for a new venue as we speak that's close to the airport, which is really cool.
Oh, so, yeah, that always helps. But you guys really liked the venue, right?
I loved it. Yeah.
What were like the food options like? Because we didn't even talk all much about that.
So this was like the highlight. So I tried to say earlier.
This is the highlight, like 1 hour 10 into the podcast.
Well, one of the highlights. I started to talk about it earlier about this guy, Loic. He owns a restaurant in Lyon, which we went to on Friday evening. It was absolutely amazing. And then he was the chef as well. He made all the food with the guys as well. So it was like classic Lyon sausages in red wine with potatoes and some dips and stuff, and absolutely delicious. But it's made by all the people. Like it's properly not just fast food or whatever. It was just gorgeous.
I'll try that.
Yeah.
We talked about it, right? Lyon, food capital of at least France, if not more of that. So yeah. Kai, did you enjoy it?
It was pretty good.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, Friday was wild because like Loic's restaurant was not a traditional it was a traditional Lyon restaurant, but like there was almost no meat. Like at least I didn't order any meat, but I had like all the like what the French call like the stuff you don't want.
What do you mean you had no meat? You had calf head.
Oh yeah, dude,
and snails.
Yeah, dude.
What?
Oh, dude, actually, technically, snails are meat, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's a really weird way to think about meat. Like, if you're if in Discord, let us know if you think that snails count as meat.
They were delicious.
They were so good. Pretty good, yeah.
But he had calf head as well. What do you mean I didn't have meat?
Calf head, dude.
Do snails count as meat? What does Google say?
Asking the real question.
If you go by the first definition, yes, then snail is considered meat. In fact, this definition encompasses nearly anything natural, edible, and containing something with something else. What? Okay. Actually, there's a proper discussion on that on Reddit. Okay, we're not the first ones to think about it. I'm actually quite relieved.
Yeah, I mean, you can't make any steaks out of snails. So.
I never.
Well, not yet. Okay, I'm totally getting. Wait, 1 kilogram of snail meat? Okay, and you can buy. Okay, never mind. I think we're gonna wrap it up here.
Sounds good.
Cool. So yeah, guys, it was a pleasure catching up with you, dude. I'm still in the stupid like trade fair talk mode. It was a pleasure catching up with you. Like as you say to like all the people you meet at the trade fair when you.
I was like a billion times.
Honestly, no. There's so many amazing partners. Actually, one of our partners from the Philippines. Actually, not even partners, but by now they're like friends. They invited me to go to the Philippines later this year and to do my like open water diver and everything. Yeah. And I'm actually really tempted to go. I don't know. Kind of want to do it. Have you guys ever been diving?
Not yet.
Diving, no.
Not
I
yet.
want to go as well.
Yet. Unless they do a tournament, maybe, you know, on the Philippines, for example.
I bet there's like, tons of like Filipino Magic players who love playing Legacy. I could imagine that. Mm-hmm. I think I even read about like a tournament. Didn't like Manila have like a GP at some point?
Oh shit! Yeah, they had a couple of ones. I think like limited and standard. I think mostly.
Yeah,
but like, because like I remember all the Australians that they went to Manila and like. Yeah. I don't know if they're doing it now, but
yeah,
back then.
So yeah, if you want to do that, I'm actually seriously thinking about going in November. So let's see. But with that, we're going to close out the show tonight. So everybody, thank you again for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. And if you want to support the running of the show directly and finance our diving habits, you can support us on patreon.com/everydayeternal. And of course, if you like the show, please leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Thank you all, and especially to our Eternal Witness tier supporters, Franco Boli, Kane, Colin Garassi, Alex Crow, Tim Everett, Testacular, Sebastian Holager, Sean Dewey, Stephen Bush, Jim Monolith, Cassandra Davis, Rachel Scherer, Connor Clark, Tristan Mayshark, Tom Tischka, and Severin Schwarzhuber, and our Thwart tier supporters, Evan Lissar, Tom Hepp, Harry Houdini MTG, Ian Seefeld, Joe Brennan, and Colonoscopy. Thank you so much, and see you in February. Bye-bye.
See ya.